Hi everyone, it's Maddie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys what is on my March TBR. I would show you what I read in Feb. I was supposed to say January, but in Feb. Except I didn't complete any books whatsoever. I tried to read a few and I couldn't finish them whatsoever. They're not DNFs. It's just I was in the mood for them and then I wasn't in the mood for them and I didn't want to push myself to read them and that. I'm still doing my tandem read of Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn, which is going great so far, but I tried to read Powerless because I was in the mood for it and I was like, I want to read it so bad, and then I got quite a bit into it. I wasn't in the mood for it anymore, so I'll just put that down for a little bit until I'm in the mood to read it again. The second book that I tried to read is Legendary. I didn't try to read it, I got it on Audible so I could listen to it because I didn't really want to read the physical copy, and it was going really good, you know. I was getting quite into it because of the audiobook. And then life just got in the way and I just haven't gone back to it. The third book I tried to read is Legend, and I started that book. It was going really well, and then I think it was taking me forever to read, even though it's such a short read. I was trying to give myself a goal to finish it in a certain amount of time, and it was taking me like a whole entire week to read, and it started to get to the point where I just knew what was going to happen throughout the whole entire book, not really reading it, so I'm gonna be audiobooking that one. Like I said, none of them are DNFs. I just don't want to push myself to read those books and put myself in a slump. This is probably the first time in a very long time that I haven't read a book at all in a month. Usually I'll finish like one book, two books. I just haven't finished a book. But anyways, I'm going to show you guys all the books that are on my TBR of the month. A lot of them I did have on my TBR last month, so if you already watched that video you will recognize a lot of these books. I have taken out a few books and added some new ones in that are on my priority TBR and that I'm very in the mood for and have been for a very long time. I just haven't picked them up and that. So I put them on my TBR and I'm really hoping I get to them and I can actually finish a book this month. I feel like I should do a bit of synopsis, like from the back and that, because I don't really know much about a lot of these books, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, no, that's a lie. I think I do. My hair is very frizzy in that because I brushed it, and my hair is very like frizzy when I brush it, so ignore that. And also I have my Harry Styles merch on. I actually don't mind it. It's just, oh no, that's coming off now. This stuff is coming off, and also like the stuff on the back. I'm not checking the back because I don't want anything to come off. Going into the first book, which is Legendborn. This book has been on my TBR for such a long time. Like since I first heard about it and I was like, oh, I'll put that on. But now I've been hearing a lot more of it just because of Bloodmarked, which I think came out this year. I'm pretty sure. I do have it as well. But I've heard amazing things about this book. And so I'm very excited to read it. I'm not gonna lie, the words are tiny, if you can see that. The chapters don't look that long, so I'm praying that the small writing won't affect it. I'm gonna try not to focus on the small writing. I'm just gonna try and focus on the story. After her mother dies in an accident, 16-year-old Bree Matthews wants to escape. A residential program for bright high schoolers seemed like the perfect opportunity, until she witnesses a magical attack her very first night on campus. The Meg's failure, why was that hard to say? The Meg's failure unlocks Bree's own unique magic and a buried memory from the night her mother died. Now Bree will do whatever it takes to discover the truth, even infiltrate the Legendborn. Oh, that sounds interesting. Apparently it's supposed to be like a love triangle in this, and I hope it's good. It does have on the second book a guy on the cover. Very excited, and I cannot wait to finally get into this book. I love the cover, it's so gorgeous. I want to read it now. I'm gonna read it now. The next two books are part of a series and I want to reread them. And so I've put them back on my TBR for the month, and that is A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist and Fury. A Court of Mist and Fury. There we go. I have read this book. I read a little bit of this book and then I just couldn't really get into it at the time. But I now have the matte covers. The other ones that I had, I don't have anymore because I sold them. Don't know why. But I just kind of guess I didn't want the same exact covers on my shelf. Be a little weird. Anyways, well, not weird because I have a lot of copies of the same book on my shelf. Can't say anything there. But these are matte covers now. I like them. I feel like everyone and their mothers know what this series is about. You know, this one is supposed to be like a Beauty and the Beast retelling kind of thing, and then this one is just basically out of its own world thing, I guess. I'm gonna try and read them this month. I hope I get to them, but I feel like I might need to go on a Sarah J Maas break because for the past like 3 months that's all I've been reading, Sarah J Maas books, and I feel like I need to take a little break. But who can blame me? Next one is a new release that actually came out last month, I think. Final Offer by Lauren Asher. This is the third and final book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. This book is about Cal and Alana. I love the fine print so much. It is one of my favorite books of all time. Terms and conditions good. I just didn't like Declan that much. I mainly read the book for Iris because she's a queen. I love her so much. And then we get the last brother in the series. Basically what the series is about, if you don't know, their grandfather passes away and he leaves a will for all three brothers on basically how to get his inheritance, I guess, or like his companies in that, because he's a billionaire and he owns a lot of companies. He owns a theme park, hotels, private jets. I don't really know what else. I think that's just like the main ones. First one is about Rowan, and he has to become CEO of Dreamland, which is this whole theme park. The second one, Declan, he has to find a wife and have a child to become like heir, I guess, for the company and all that. And then this one, he has to basically get back with his ex. So it's second chance. That's basically it. I don't know much about this book. I don't want to know much, but I'm just very excited to finally get into this book. I swear to God, I never get that far into a video before my battery starts to freaking die. Another book is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Everyone knows this book, but I still want to continue my Harry Potter reread. I'm just putting it on my TBR again. I'm ready for Dedrick. Ooh, should we get into like the thriller books I want to read for the month? I don't think I have any books I've put on my Kindle for this month. Or maybe I will during the month. I just haven't really thought of anything yet besides like one book, but I don't know if I'll read it. Anyways, let's actually get into the thriller ones that I want to read, which is only like 2 books. But the first one is Five Survive by Holly Jackson. She is the writer of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. Absolutely love the first 2 books in that series. So excited to read the third one. I just haven't put it on my TBR for this month because I don't want the series to end. So basically what happens is there are 6 friends that go on a road trip and their car breaks down in the middle of nowhere. There's this person that wants one of them killed. Don't know why. Don't know if it's just a coincidence that their car broke down. But they have 8 hours to figure out who is the person that they want killed. It's just like a whole bunch of secrets and all that stuff. I don't know if it's just like on the one spot and all that, or if it's like something happens, they do like a little chase scene, like they all run off and all that. This is a YA thriller, so I don't think it's supposed to be like very scary, you know, but I do love Holly Jackson's writing. She's amazing. I'm very excited to read this one and I can't wait to get into it. The next book that I have is by a very famous author, and if I say that, I feel like a lot of people will know right away. I've never read one of his books before and I really want to, because I feel like it would be a really good start to a thriller and all that stuff. But I have The Institute. That did not come out right. The Institute by Stephen King. I know nothing about this book besides there's an institute and it's supposed to be a thriller, which he mainly writes thriller. If you don't know, he wrote It, The Shining. There's a series on Netflix that my parents have watched called Mr. Mercedes, and boy, that show is effed up. But it looks good and I want to read those books because apparently it's a trilogy. But I do want to read quite a few books. And there's another one. Is it Misery? I think. I know that's a movie, like an old movie. Ooh, so it's like a fantasy thriller. I don't want to read too much at the back because I don't want to give anything away for myself, and I just read a little bit of it, but it sounds interesting. I love the new covers that are coming out for his books. They look actually really nice. Next book I want to read is Jade City. I did have this on my TBR last month. I was supposed to read it for a Discord book thing and I just never got around to reading it whatsoever. I do want to read it this month and see how I go. I know they're going to be reading the second book this month. If I'm able to get this book done, I might get to the second book if I like it. Jade is the lifeblood of the city of Janloon, a stone that enhances a warrior's natural strength and speed. It is mined, traded, stolen, and killed for, all controlled by 2 families equal in their power and willfulness. But a modern drug emerges that allows anyone, even foreigners, to wield Jade's simmering tension between the 2 clans erupt into open war. I'm very excited. I love the cover. It looks so nice. And they all match like so beautifully. These I feel like are all wishful thinking because I'm in the mood for them, but I know I'm just not going to read them. Next book is Archer's Voice. I don't know if like that just got worse or what. So I had to be like one of those influencers so you can see it. Can you see it? But I have read this book and I have tabbed it and underlined in this book, but I just want to go back and read it so bad because I love Archer and Bruce so much. They have a very special place in my heart. It's like my favorite romance book of all time. I'm not even kidding. Last book has been on my TBR now for the 3rd time in a row because I will not take it off my TBR until I read it, and that is Sky Without Stars. Look how gorgeous this cover is, and I will say that every single time. Look at it. Oh my god, it is is so nice. This is also another fantasy book. As you can tell, a lot of them are fantasy. It's superior, you know, and I want my enemies to lovers. There's actually enemies to lovers. I don't count enemies to lovers in romance books anymore, only in fantasy books. It's a thief, an officer, a guardian, 3 strangers, 1 shared destiny. I'm excited to read it, and I will hopefully get to this book this month, and I will hopefully finish my tandem read for this month. That is all the books that I want to read for the month. I feel like a lot of these are wishful thinking because I put these books on my TBR. My B-roll has just gone off. I put a lot of these books on my TBR and I don't even end up reading them. We'll see what happens. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It might have been a bit short, I know, but I didn't have any books that I've read this month. If you guys like this video, don't forget to do all the usual stuff. Comment, like, subscribe, turn on notification bell so you know every time that I upload. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!